Hello nerdy birdies, this is Kaylee from Just Nerdy Birdie Things. This is Titan, and today I'm here with a comic corner video. You'll have to forgive her, she might be clingy, she might run away now I've started talking, I don't know. But yeah, so I'm here today with a comic corner video. Now, I haven't made one of these videos in a while, it's been like a few months, but I want to get back into it in this year, so why not start with my first little comic haul of the month. So basically what I do in my comic corner videos is I just go over the comics that I picked up from the comic book store during the week and I kind of talk about them. So yeah, there will be spoilers for these because I try and film the videos. I try and get them up. I'm going to try and get this up on Friday. I'm filming it on Thursday. The comics are released on Wednesday, so yeah, there are probably spoilers, so spoiler warning for DC Comics. I don't really read Marvel, so this is pretty much just exclusively DC Comics. Occasionally I do get indie comics, so I'll mention those if I get them, but this week is all DC. So we will dive right into it. The first comic I have is Absolute Batman Arc M. So this is a one-shot, obviously taking place in the Absolute universe in the world of Absolute Batman, and it just follows basically the history of Arkham Asylum from its founding by Amadeus Arkham until it got bought out by Jack Grimm, who, if you're keeping up with the story, I guess is the Joker in the universe. So basically it's told from the perspective of Amadeus Arkham as he's writing his journal, essentially his kind of memoir and his quote-unquote confession. We kind of find out that Jack Grimm was actually raised by Amadeus Arkham, although Amadeus Arkham didn't actually know that. He thought he'd been the victim of a breakout several years before. So yeah, he finds out right at the end, and then he perishes in a fire when he tries to burn the building down. But obviously, as we know, Jack Grimm does purchase Arkham Asylum and turns it into Arc M, and then we kind of end on, I think, the leading into the next couple of adversaries that Batman is going to have to face, which looks to be Poison Ivy and Man-Bat, or Pamela Isley and Kirk Langstrom. So I think out of the two of them, I'm looking forward to seeing Poison Ivy more, but I am also looking to see what they do with Kirk Langstrom. Apparently Dick Grayson and Jason Todd are going to come into play during the next major storyline, so hopefully that'll be this next upcoming storyline and we get to see Dick Grayson and Jason Todd. We've already seen like a couple of hints of Dick Grayson, who is an EMT, but we haven't, as far as I'm aware, unless I've missed it, we haven't seen any mention of Jason yet, so we'll see where that goes. But yeah, that's Absolute Batman Arc M. Okay, so the next one I have is Absolute Superman. This is issue 15, and this is the start of his next story arc. So this takes place after the Battle of Kansas with the Lazarus Corps. So Ra's al Ghul is in prison in, I forget which country, but he's in prison. Basically he's in prison, and Cal is, who now goes by Clark, is living in the Kent farm in Kansas, and he's trying to fix a tractor. That seems to be the overarching theme of the of the issue, is he's trying to fix a tractor, but whenever he hears screaming, whenever he hears somebody crying for help, he goes to help. I do appreciate that this is committed to Superman being a darker character, but while also kind of maintaining kind of the core of his being, in the sense that he still doesn't kill people. He doesn't like go, I realize that's also a core thing for Batman, but I feel like it's a core thing for Superman too. But yes, he does it. So he's going around threatening billionaires and trying to save as many people as he can, and it's driving him a little nuts because he can't seem to stop the screaming. So I think that, and obviously he doesn't have the comfort of Sol anymore, so he does look much better in his blue suit that Martha made for him that he got at the end of issue 14. And he is obviously, he's made some friends. He sees Lois, and Lana Lang comes over to check on him as well. So yeah, it's very cute. And then right at the end, in comes Hawkman. So I think that's gonna be his next thing that he has to deal with, is going to be dealing with Absolute Hawkman, who in the Absolute Evil one-shot killed Oliver Queen, or at least in this household appears to have killed Oliver Queen. So we're kind of anxiously awaiting the start of Absolute Green Arrow this year to see how that plays out. In addition to the A cover, I did also get a variant cover for Absolute Superman number 15, which is this one here. This is by Carmine Di Giandomenico, who is one of my favorite comic book artists, so whenever I can collect his covers, I will. Alright, so the next thing I have, I'm going in alphabetical order too. I just find going in alphabetical order the easiest. So the next one is Batman. So this is issue number 5 of the kind of the new Batman run. And basically the good doctor is on the run. Somebody's put a bounty on her head because of her work, and it's up to Bruce to stop her, but it's Bruce as Bruce, not Bruce as Batman, who's trying to protect her. And there's the whole, like, the overarching joke is that this is a terrible date night, and yeah, basically they're just running away from a gang and seemingly an assassin. I think she's called Mistress Death, or there is a name, and I'm gonna say Ojo, but I do not think that's how it's pronounced. So if anyone can correct me on how it's supposed to be pronounced, please let me know. But I'm gonna read it phonetically as Ojo. Who's trying to kill her. And then Damian makes his appearance as Robin in the end, and kind of makes a slip up. He refers to Bruce as father in front of her, so now Bruce has some explaining to do. So I'm curious, it kind of ends on that cliffhanger, so I'm kind of curious to see how Bruce gets himself out of that one. In addition to the A cover, I also got the sweater weather cover for this, which is super cute. This is by Mitch Gerrards. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but I thought this cover was just so cute with Bruce's little sweater and the mug and all of that stuff. I just thought it was really cute. So yeah, and then the last issue that I picked up this week is Night Fight number 3. So I've actually really been enjoying Night Fight. This issue starts out kind of with the end of the fight between Bruce and Jason, where essentially Bruce decides not to fight anymore. He's just like, no, I'm not fighting my kids anymore, you can't make me do it, which has the Heart pull him out of Jason's world, which makes me feel real bad for Jason, because Jason just had that little glimmer of hope put in front of him that Bruce is like, we'll stay and we'll take care of Gotham together, and then he's ripped away. So I feel really bad for Night Fight Jason, that he's all alone. I don't know, it just makes me feel bad, but that's because Jason's my favorite. So of course, the Heart of Apocalypse, who is talking to Bruce, wants Bruce to fight the Robins, to try and break him down, I guess. But Bruce is just flat out refusing at this point. He's not playing the Heart's game anymore, so the Heart is trying to punish him. That leads into Tim, adult Tim, who I will show. There has been, obviously, like, this page got leaked, so it's been everywhere, but there is adult Tim, who looks the most like Bruce in my opinion. Like, I realize him, Dick, and Jason are not the same ages in this. Like, they're aged up, but I don't think their ages are consistent. And Tim is a master detective. He's basically solved all the crimes in Gotham except for one, which is the murder of his Bruce, which Bruce basically gets put into Tim's computer and has to hack through it to reveal himself to Tim. And he basically confronts Tim but doesn't fight him, and helps him solve his murder because he knows that Tim kind of needs to solve the murder to get over it, and that makes the Heart angry, which then causes the Heart to pull Bruce out of Tim's world and puts him into his greatest challenge, which, according to the ending, is Bruce versus happiness, so we'll see where that goes. But obviously it ends on the page of Damien, an older Damien, introducing Bruce to his grandson, who is called Alfred, who I suppose we'll find more out about in the next issue. Which leads me to my thing. I really feel like this should have been 5 or 6 issues instead of 4, because it feels like Dick got a really well fleshed out conflict with Bruce. Jason got a really thought out conflict with Bruce. I understand that Bruce has changed the nature of the game with Tim, but it still feels like Tim got kind of shafted by only having like half an issue dedicated to his story. I do appreciate a little something that I will point out that kind of tickled me when I noticed it, and it's just one of those silly little background details. So there's a couple of characters in the background in this scene where Tim is solving like a Clue-esque murder, and it looks like Duncan and Bridget from the Once and Future, which is a different comic book. I think it was put out by Boom Comics, that Dan Mora also worked on, which is based very loosely on King Arthur, or Arthurian Legends, which is a very good series. I recommend it if you haven't read it. So, but yeah, I thought it was cute that he put Duncan and Bridget in there. I'm like, I don't know if that was on purpose or he just needed background characters, but I thought that was cute. But yeah, also I've also seen some like debate on what Damien looks like. I want to wait until the next issue to kind of fully give my thoughts on like adult Damien, because he's only in it for a couple of pages, so I'm gonna let that have its time before I complain about it. But I do feel like Tim got a little bit shafted here. I feel like all of the boys should have at least gotten 1 issue out of it, where like Tim only has, you know, half. Tim only has half an issue. Now I don't know if Damien's gonna get a full issue in issue 4, because obviously there has to be the concluding part, so I feel like 6 issues might have been better in the setup, then have each of the boys have their own issue, and then have the conclusion in a final issue. But I don't work for DC Comics. I don't control what they do, so I can just give my opinion in a silly little comics video. So, but yeah, that was Night Fight issue number 3. I didn't get any variant covers for that one, but I did get a variant cover for issue number 4, so I'm really looking forward to that one. But yeah, so that is it for this week's comics that I picked up. These videos are probably gonna stay pretty short. I don't read a lot of comics. I tend to have the series that I like to read, and then those are the ones I read. But yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any comic book series that you think I should check out, I'd love to hear them. I pre-ordered a bunch of compendiums yesterday, so I'm super excited about when those come out, including Batman Beyond, which I'm really hoping has like the rewired stuff in it, but we'll see when it comes out. It comes out the end of March, so I'm looking forward to that. Batman Beyond is one of my favorite. Batman Beyond Terry, not Batman Beyond Tim Drake. I have nothing against Tim Drake except when he's Batman Beyond. I just don't care for his character like that. So I was a little as a little sidebar, I was a little disappointed when I realized that the Batman Beyond in Justice League Unlimited right now is Tim, not Terry, because I thought it would be cute if it was Terry. But considering Terry appeared in like the animated show. But that's enough, I'll say. That's all that I will say about that. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Tune in for like my next vlog or my next ramble video. I really do hope to upload these every week if I can, probably on Friday, so keep an eye out for the next comic book video. And until next time, bye guys.